Hey everyone, Craig here. Before the show starts, I just want to give a little notice before this episode begins. You'll hear in the intros and the outro of this episode, Steve, well, he was struck by radioactive lightning, and he was able to foresee my questions before I asked them. So it's going to sound a little odd. The show is a little odd, but yeah. Just bear with us. We're still trying to work out the kinks. We're only 13 episodes deep in this podcast, and eventually we'll get it down to sounding good. But for now, just bear with us and enjoy the show.
Hey, kids. We're a couple of annoyed grunt boys, and this is the 138th Simpsons podcast.
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best around.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the 138th Simpsons podcast. I, of course, am half a host Craig.
And I'm half a host Steve.
Steve, this is the Simpsons podcast where we talk about the TV show, the hit animated American drama?
Comedy
classic, The Simpsons. We talk about seasons 11 and beyond, because if you want to listen to people review episodes from seasons 1 to 10. Do that on the other 137 Simpsons podcast. We don't do that here.
No, we do not. We're 138 and we have a purpose.
Steve, did you introduce yourself? I don't remember.
I did, but I am still Steve. I am the co-host and I have the mo-host. I don't know what that means, but here I am.
Steve, how have you been this
I've been good. Yesterday was Easter, which means nothing for me. Today's Earth Day, so that's something. How about you, Craig? How have you been?
That's a
you're
little
right.
personal, don't you think? I like how we describe what happened yesterday as being Sunday, because we're recording this on a Monday, but we don't put this out until Thursday, so we're going to confuse people who actually listen to it.
Behind the curtain secrets. We don't record live.
You mean this?
Yeah.
Well, one of these days we will.
We'll record live at a bar in front of people. They won't know it, but...
we're just going to have... Yeah, we're going to be there tending to have a show. Then we'll get kicked out.
Yeah.
Probably go to Taco Bell.
Yeah,
Sounds
but
like a normal
maybe
Friday
by
night,
luck
right?
there'll be like a weird Simpsons tie-in with Taco Bell, and we can get the El Barto Taco Gordita Supreme.
Did the Simpsons ever have a Taco Bell tie-in?
Actually, now I want to do some research. Was it Burger King?
I know Burger King had to. And I think during the movie when that came out, I think they must have had something like collector glasses. Yeah. I don't know. I know there was.
Well, I know that
around.
they had a big one with 7-Eleven.
Like, oh yeah.
Yeah, always.
Butterfinger.
Also, there's a new recipe for Butterfinger. Bill Oakley says there's no difference. I've tried it. There is a difference. Doing some research, there were some figurines through promotion that were through Burger King. So yes, you're right.
Oh yeah, Burger King. Come at me, fast food maniacs, but I think Burger King's the bottom of the burger joint fast food.
I don't think it's that controversial these days.
Okay.
I think that at one point they were truly the king, but now they're merely a serf in the fast food kingdom.
I've ran a few miles my days. When I see miles, I mean marathons, but I remember one marathon I did, and like after a marathon, I just want I'm ravenous, right? I'll eat anything, and I will, and it stays down. And it's the last time I ran a marathon, Burger King sounded so great, so I went and got like whatever the Whopper, right? Like the triple double Whopper. I remember like biting into it, and I'm super hungry too because I just finished running a marathon. And as soon as I bit into it, I take a couple bites, like this is not good. And then just spit it out. And I don't know what I ate afterwards. I probably was like, screw it, I need a can of soup. I'm still hungry, but
especially
this was
after
not
running
good.
so much. Yeah.
Burger King, not on my top choices.
I'll be honest with you. I don't
Steve,
do
what are
a
your top
ton of fast food.
But,
McDonald's is still solid.
It's solid. I mean, I like
it. It is, although
I like the
I
Popeyes
feel that
and the
Popeyes
KFC. Is that
superior.
allowed? Yeah. Well, who...
Oh, that's a good
Are they
point.
superior the chicken or the sides?
They have better chicken
Over
and better
KFC.
biscuits. Other sides, I'm not sure about.
The red beans and rice are go-to at Popeyes. I think the macaroni cheese is pretty much the same at both places. It's just that, like, you know, mushy macaroni cheese you expect. The mashed potatoes and gravy, I think, doesn't KFC
Yeah, I think you're right there.
that over Popeyes, would you say?
Way
the
better,
biscuits at KFC are better.
And for me, if I'm getting fried chicken, I want chicken and biscuits. That's kind of my jam. I've had it. I don't get it.
chicken
It's
and waffle
fine.
guy?
I don't have any problem with it, but it's not really for me. If I want fried chicken, I want fried chicken.
Yeah, I have to actually agree with you on that one. I mean, I love a waffle and I love a fried chicken, but I just don't understand, the hype between that, because I've had it in,
Yeah.
many places. I'm like, okay, is this the one that's going to really wow me over? And everybody knows. It's just
Also,
like,
I gotta
okay,
say
so it's fried
waffles
chicken
in general
and then
overrated.
a waffle.
Oh, no,
I disagree. I think they're way better than the pancake.
Those are both 2 and 3 in my book on things that you put syrup. To me, French toast is king.
See, sometimes I don't like a French toast. I don't know. I don't eat any of the bread anyway.
Sorry, maybe
so
you can put.
Now you got me thinking I
syrup on
want
cauliflower
French
or something.
toast. Actually,
Oh.
I do make keto waffles. Which is just here's my recipe, guys. It's a little almond flour, a little flax, a lot of fake sugar, an egg, a little bit of baking powder, a little salt, a little vanilla, and then a shit ton of nutmeg and cinnamon.
That doesn't sound bad.
Just put all spice in there, spice it up. Yeah, it's good. It's actually not bad. I've developed the perfect almond butter cookie.
Oh, I like that.
It tastes like Christmas. Oh, it tastes like a sugar cookie. So
Yes, please
yeah,
do.
I'll have to email you some, Steve.
At 138simpsons@gmail.com.
And where can I email you? So, Steve, yesterday was a Sunday.
Yeah.
Even though we'll pretend it is, guys. The other day was a Sunday, Steve, and
Womp womp.
no new episode of The Simpsons. I can't give you an update,
Very.
but you know what? There was a new episode of. That's right, Steve. A new
Well, I
episode
thought it was a bit more
HBO's
exciting
Game
than
of
last
Thrones.
week.
What did you
A
think?
good rallying of the troops. What did you think, Craig?
I didn't watch it. Yeah, so maybe next week I'll give you my thoughts and I'll hear your thoughts on it. But yeah, I just I was digging the vibes of the
Got that
Easter man.
extra grass in that Easter basket.
Yeah, man. No, yesterday was just fun. It was just I don't know, hanging around and doing nothing. It was just no chores. Oh no, I did mow the lawn, but that was about it.
Oh, how
Other
is
than
that? I
that-
haven't watched it yet.
I watched the second Lego movie. I liked it. I mean, I understand that it's that it's not going to be as good as the first movie, like most sequels aren't. But
Okay.
it's fine.
Yeah.
There's some good jokes. Nothing. Yeah. All right. So nothing about
Not much.
the game,
Let me
The
look
Simpsons
in my
news. Steve, do you
news
have any Simpsons
machine.
news?
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau will be portrayed in Sunday's Canadian-themed episode of The Simpsons, which is titled "Doe Canada."
Yeah, I saw that, and I saw the synopsis of it. And remember 2 weeks ago when I said that the latest episode of Homer was like in a Daddy and Me for Maggie? On the Google synopsis, it said the same thing. Like Marge goes to Canada, blah, blah, blah. And then Homer takes Maggie to a Daddy and Me. I'm like, wait, like a different one? I don't know. Well, guys, tune in this Sunday tune in to whenever you see that episode of The Simpsons where Justin Trudeau, I bet it is.
Yeah.
'Cause, other like Tony Blair did a voice. I think they get,
Yeah,
I mean, he probably will do the
It
voice.
wasn't, but okay.
Is that what you were asking?
Yeah, it's okay.
I got a little sidetracked about The Simpsons. All right, so I think we should go find out what was
Yes.
going on the year this episode we're talking about. It happened March 19th, 2017.
Yeah,
Steve, that's the
not that
implied-
long ago.
Yeah, so some famous deaths on that day, Steve. We have
Hmm.
Jimmy Breslin, American author and columnist, died at 88. An American college president, Sam Smith College, Mary Maples Dunn, she died, and Robert Hengon,
Okay.
French cyclist, died at 76. He was the 1967 Tour de France champion.
He was a tour de force. I love it.
Tour de France. So that was what happened.
Should we look at the movies?
2017. Coming in at number 10, Before I Fall, earning $90,000 some odd dollars. Number 9 was John Wick Chapter 2. Still have yet to see that, but I'd like the first one.
I have not actually. I know that they're a lot
Number
of fun.
7. Have you seen the John Wicks? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll check it out before number 3 comes out, like within like the few weeks it does. Number 7 was Hidden Figures.
Nope.
Number 7 was the Belko Experiment. I don't know that movie.
We did.
Number 6 was the Lego Batman movie. I think we saw that together.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Fun stuff. Just saw Number 4 was The Shack.
Yep, featuring Shaquille O'Neal.
Prequel to The Love Shack.
The Joey Gladstone story.
Number 4
Nope,
was
that's
Get
cut it
Out!
Never mind. That's right. Yeah, there it is.
No, it was the Elaine story, yeah.
Yeah.
Number 7, Logan, the sequel to Logan Paul. Wait, no, you already make that joke. Never mind. Yeah, Logan, fun movie. Number 2 is Kong Skull Island.
I saw it in the theater.
I think I watched parts of it, but then I fell asleep.
It was fun.
And really?
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's fine. Yeah, no, I heard it's good. I plan on watching it. Number 1 movie making $174 billion, probably overall. That is actually $174 million.
Tale as old as time.
Cue the music.
Tale as old as time, true as it can be. Barely even friends, then somebody bends unexpectedly.
That's right, Beauty and the Beast. Actually saw that in the theaters too. What did you think?
Yeah. I don't know.
The
I
animated
know
one
it's
still
all
superior,
visually
right?
beautiful and all, but I don't know why Disney's doing this shit now where they have to remake shot for shot every movie that they're doing. It seems unnecessary, but what do I know? Okay, yeah. Well,
Not
in
the
6
goddamn
months we'll
thing,
be owned by
Steve. I
Disney
love
anyway,
these
so
movies.
that's fair.
Woohoo! Actually, I can't
That's
say I
the
love
one
them.
that I
never
actually
saw
want to see. It
Dumbo.
looks the
Don't
most
plan on it.
interesting, but yeah, I guess.
Because Tim Burton. From what I read, it was just like the most, like, not Tim Burton. It was just Tim Burton following the
Tim
rules.
Burton's a weird guy because I think
Yeah.
that I don't like him anymore.
I don't know.
And so I think that maybe I never liked him, but then I think about some of his earlier movies like Batman, Pee-wee, Ed Wood. Those are like great movies.
Well,
Oh, it's a
I
beautiful
was
movie.
just
I
going to
love it.
say, you watch Ed Wood, and yeah, is it my
Pee-wee's
favorite
Big
Tim Burton
Adventure's
movie?
really
It
good.
might.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Beetlejuice is also really good.
No, Beetlejuice. No, Beetlejuice.
No, stop.
Steve, big fish. Big fish. Cry. Now.
Stop.
All right, then just read the book. All right,
Alrighty,
well,
here is
that
your
was the
top
movie
10
Steve
for the
will be
week.
Listening to.
Number 10, Closer by the Chainsmokers featuring Halsey. Number 9, Rockabye by Clean Bandit featuring Sean Paul and Anne Marie. Number 8, Bounce Back by Big Sean. Number 7, Paris by the Chainsmokers.
Yeah, Chainsmokers.
Like they
are
would some
killing
lungs.
it. Wait, they were like the number. They were the
Uh,
number 10 song, right?
Number
Okay, good.
6 is
Thought I heard it
Television
twice.
by Kodak Black. Number 5 is Love on the Brain by Rihanna. Number 4, I Don't Want to Live Forever from 50 Shades of Something by Zahn and Taylor Swift. Number 3, That's What I Like by Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
Bad and Bougie by Migos featuring Little Uzi Vert by number 2. And your number 1 is Shape of You by Ed Sheeran.
The club isn't the best place to find a lover, so the bar is where I go. Me and my friends sat at the table doing shots, drinking fast, and then we talk slow.
So I kind of sped through those because aside from Bad and Bougie and the Bruno Mars song, I don't really know any of these songs because I'm an old man.
Yeah, but it's weird. Like, you think you would, or I
Mhm.
think I would, because, it was only a few years ago. I don't know. Okay.
Alrighty.
That sounds great. Steve, I'm going to take a break. And I honestly haven't watched this week's episode. So on this break, I'm going to watch this episode.
Today we are talking about
Steve, what were we
A
talking
Father's
about?
Watch, the 17th or 18th episode of the 28th season. It depends according to
It's
which
the
website
18th.
you look at. We'll talk about it later.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah,
Worried
I
that
know what you're talking
Bart
about.
is destined for failure. Marge turns to a series of
Oh.
parenting experts for advice. Homer chooses to cash in on the experts' advice by opening up a trophy store in Springfield. Meanwhile, Bart gets some much-needed encouragement from Grampa, who gives him a precious watch coveted by Homer.
Okay, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah,
and
see you in a few.
See you back.
Back.
See you back.
With the shape of when we can, we let the story begin. We're going out on our first date. You and me are thrifty, so go all you can eat. Fill up your bag and
And we're back. Steve, let's talk about this week's episode of The Simpsons, which we already teased.
All right, today we are talking about A Father's Watch, Season 20, Episode 18. Originally aired March 19th, 2017. It's number 614 in the show's run. Your nerd code is WABF11. Written by Simon Rich, directed by Bob Anderson, and your showrunners are Al Jean and Matt Selman.
Steve, doing a little research here on the writer of this episode, Simon Rich. He only wrote one episode of The Simpsons, and it's this episode. But you're going to love this. He's younger than us. He was born June 5th, 1984, so he's 34. Graduated from a pretty well-known college. Steve, what college was that?
Cudger?
Think higher.
Brown?
Higher.
Black?
Lower.
Brown?
No, Steve. He went to Harvard, just like
Oh.
all good Simpsons writers.
Wow.
Looking at this, he's a writer. He's written on the SNL. But I thought it was kind of interesting that based on what this episode's about, kind of wanting a father's affection, right?
Mm-hmm.
His father, get this, is Frank Rich, who was a journalist.
Hmm.
Yeah, he wrote for the New York Times, Steve. Also graduated Harvard, television producer. He's one of the producers of Veep.
Wow.
So here's what I'm saying. You know, as a writer, you're supposed to write what you know. And
Right.
Simon Rich, he knows he just needs his father's affection. And he never got it.
Wow, that's really deep and really prescient to this episode.
Well, that's what I'm assuming this episode's about.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be, right?
And if I can offer some advice to anybody out there, if you're waiting for your father's approval, just wait till he dies, and then it doesn't matter because I'm living my best life right now, and my dad's dead. So, yeah.
Sorry, more about this fella. He's written for McSweeney's The Believer.
I love McSweeney's, and that is a very white thing to say.
GQ.
Uh-huh.
The Observer magazine,
Right.
Mad magazine,
Love it.
French Vanity Fair, the UK Glamour, the Italian
Right.
GQ, some NPR stuff. So he's written anthologies for McSweeney's, and I found this funny, edited by Judd Apatow. But right now, his four-part novella Sellout, Seth Rogen is attached to produce this novella. So,
Wow.
yeah, he also worked on Inside Out, Secret Life of Pets. He said SNL. But yeah, one episode of The Simpsons, and here it is. Poor Simon Rich, and his dad doesn't love him.
But very
Yeah,
accomplished.
he even has a wife.
Wow. Maybe someday he'll have a son named Richie.
Oh. All right, well, back to the show.
All right. Our chalkboard gag is studying is not appropriating nerd culture. And then our couch gag is a collection of Simpsons pets on the couch, including Santa's Little Helper, Snowball 2, Laddie, Plopper, Mojo, Pinchy, Stampy, and Super Dude.
It's kind of fun seeing all the old pets, right?
Yeah, I recognized most of them. Some of them I didn't. I saw like the dogs from the See My Vest episode, but there was a snake there that I couldn't really place. But all in all, it was a fun.
All
time.
right.
And speaking of animals, we open this episode with Frog Heaven.
What's good?
Where two frogs are discussing their deaths and how they died for a good cause, the education of young people, namely Bart and his class.
Well, I'm glad they had Frog Heaven because, Steve, our pets don't go to heaven with us when we die and they die. They have their own heavens. There's a dog heaven, cat heaven, and people heaven.
Is there hamster heaven?
Oh, God, no. Those things are terrible. They go straight to hell.
Fair enough. They
and when you
deserve
die
it.
and you go to hell, you can't get sleep because all you hear is them running that wheel all night. Squeaky, 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 squeaky.
My nightmare.
Speaking of nightmare, let's continue this episode.
All right. So we see Bart stabbing his frog.
Stab, 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 die, stab, stab, die, die, death, kill.
And then using its entrails as dreadlocks and making a dance as a Rasta frog.
Pass the Dutchie. We be smoking slabba slabba with the Babylon. Ribbit, ribbit, mon.
Steve, that was racist.
Yeah. I mean, they mentioned it,
It's
so
okay.
it's like, we know it's going to be racist, but yeah, still.
Steve,
kind of weird.
Steve, did you ever
Be a Rasta man?
Did you ever dissect a frog in school?
I don't think I did. I know I dissected a cow's eyeball.
I did that.
I think that's as far as I
You didn't
dissected.
do a pig fetus?
No, I don't think
I
so.
remember just doing the pig fetus in the eyeball. Yeah, no frogs.
Yeah,
No frogs were harmed in this episode of the 138th Simpsons podcast.
yeah.
I hear frogs all night, though. I have like a little pond in the backyard, and I think a bullfrog.
Like your koi
Yeah,
pond?
it has. I swear there's frogs that live in there because they keep me up all night with their ribbiting.
Oh, wow.
But it also could be the neighbor next door. They have a swimming pool, and I don't think they winterized it, so it's really green and algae.
Oh.
So I'm just thinking it's just probably full of frogs.
I've got a frog that sings "Hello, My Baby." Nobody believed me.
Does it have its own network?
It used to. It's like Buffy and that show with Angel.
You know, I think I read somewhere. You know, the TV show is Supernatural. It's like going on. It's like 300th season coming up.
Mm-hmm.
It was still. This is how old that show is. It was still on the WB when the WB was still the WB.
Wow,
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I think it was like the first year. Yeah, so Supernatural is the last survivor of the WB.
Interesting. Its fans are diehard, though.
Yeah, they're big fans of Bruce Willis and
Who
batteries for your car. Die Hard, Steve. All right.
Yes,
Back
I
to
got
this
it.
episode.
Marge is concerned about Bart's grades.
I can't put these grades on the refrigerator. I can't even put them on the garage refrigerator.
It's not my fault. I blame security.
What?
You know, security. That's what everyone blames for everything.
You mean society?
Yeah, that's the guy.
So Bart couldn't say society, Steve.
Oh, yes. So, Coyote. That's the guy. Alrighty. So, imagine him as a taster of coal. And we see this imaginary clip, and I feel like that's, I want to say his name is Roscoe. I don't know why. But from the Homer's Phobia episode, where, the steelworker who works hard and plays hard, I feel like that's him. This is my own theory, but
They
he's
probably
there.
just, reuse the drawing.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Marge is looking online to find solutions to her parenting woes, and through the Simpsons version of Google, she finds Clarity Hoffman-Roth, a parenting expert played by Vanessa Bayer.
Getting your child established on the path to success isn't easy. I was driving my daughter from her falconry tournament to lute class when she turned to me and asked, "Nitsu," which is Mandarin for, "How do you do it?" She and I are learning Mandarin. The answer? Zuka, positive reinforcement.
So, inspired by her character, Marge plans to give Bart trophies for basically nothing, while Homer gets the idea to sell trophies.
Oh, it's just a waste of gullible parents' money. Waste of gullible parents' money. Gullible parents' money. Money. Money.
And we get a little montage, which we heard in the opening.
Just with the Joe Esposito, Karate Kid, you're the best.
That is a song that gets in my head randomly, I want to say like 1 or 2 times a week. And I didn't know before this episode that the name of the artist.
Oh.
So that's
Well,
something.
as a huge Karate Kid fan, I know everything about that one song.
And crane kicks.
Oh, you know what? Premieres tonight is Cobra Kai. Season 2 is going to be dropped on YouTube.
Oh.
Did you ever watch the Cobra Kai?
No, I know I need to, but I never did.
It was so good. It was something that you didn't know you needed. Like you didn't ask
Sure.
for it, but then you watch it, like,
Right.
oh my god, this is like good.
It's the best around.
Yeah, and no one's ever gonna put us down.
Okay.
Hi kids, stay tuned for our Cobra Kai podcast coming at you here on Anchor.fm.
Sweep the pod.
Ooh, I like it.
So Lisa is skeptical of all this trophy business because she feels like trophies should be earned, as like she's earned very many. She's earned a lot
Very
of
many
trophies.
good, lots.
Homer uses Bart to make the trophies, and Bart does shoddy work. And so then Homer and Marge have an argument about Bart and his potential.
Face it, our son is a screw-up. He was born a screw-up, and no matter how hard he tries, which he never will, Bart will always be a screw-up. And have you ever heard that sound he makes when he's sad? Pathetic.
So, depressed, Bart goes on for a walk and runs into Grandpa.
Look at that whimpering little crybaby. Wah, wah.
Abe, that's your grandson.
Come visit me. I'm so lonely. Wah, wah.
Grandpa tells the story of his dad, a professional child beater who taught at Professor Simpson's Panacea of Disagreeable Juveniles.
It's back to my whole Simon Rich here. So was his grandfather and father beating him too? I mean, God, this is just... He needs to see a psychologist or shrink after this, right, in this episode.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
What do you think of that joke of his grandpa was a professional child beater?
It seems really dark to
Super
me.
dark.
I just imagine being a victim of childhood beatings and watching this episode and being like, oh, that's like Dad.
You just said
I'm going to cry now.
You said you imagine it like, oh, I wish that was me as a kid being beaten.
Yeah. Anyway, to prove he's not a loser and that Bart is special, Grandpa gives Bart his cherished watch that is an heirloom.
You aren't special. You're like my prostate, a spiky little troublemaker who plays by his own rules. You don't take hooey from Louie.
Never have, never will.
We have Lisa, who is frustrated by everyone getting a trophy, so she finds Dr. Fenton Pooltoy, voiced by Rob Riggle, who believes that constant praise leads to millennials, which technically you and I are.
I agree with Rob Riggle.
I've always been more in the Gen X camp, but...
Yeah, I see that.
Anyway, he has he believes that you should prod them with grit, which stands for get up, retry, I don't care if you're tired, or get rid of idiotic trophies. And then we have Mel complaining about the acronyms.
Why does the word of sometimes count in the acronym and sometimes not?
He complains about the word of being used sometimes and not in the acronyms, but the word is only used once, so his complaints don't make sense. I don't know if that's something that was left on the cutting room floor, but... I
think because, Wiggum just shuts him up saying, oh, shut up, Mel. Your kids live with your mom in wherever it was, Minnesota. Yeah. No one cares, Mel.
I care, Mel, because I think you're a neat guy.
But I understand that, too. The acronyms, when you see that, sometimes the of counts and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, people play fast and loose with that.
Fast and loose with the ofs. The Steve story.
Fast and Furious 7. Fast and loose with the ofs. Wiggum is amazed by these clips, and so then we go back to Homer, who is bummed out that the mob mentality is no longer wanting trophies, ruining his get rich quick scheme. Also, Bart has this cherished watch that he always wanted, and he's a little bitter about that. In fact, he has a case for the watch, and he's written a novel, which is the title of the episode, of Father's Watch.
And I like when Homer says, that watch has no fob. Where's your fob?
Way to go, no fob. So then we get another montage, this time with the original recording of Joe Esposito's The Best, with Bart being inspired by the watch to be a better person, but eventually he loses the watch, having it fall off a cliff.
Okay, Millhouse, I'll drop a rock. You watch it come down. That should be where Grandpa's watch landed. Ow! Did you see where the rock landed? In my eye! Oh, that watch was the only thing that made me not terrible. I can't lose it. I'll drop another rock a few feet to the left. My other eye! Ow! 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 Not a single one has missed me!
Millhouse getting hit by rocks? Come on. Great stuff.
Oh, yeah. That was fun. He got really hurt.
But it's fine. It's Millhouse.
Grandpa calls Bart to let him know that Remember That magazine wants to do an article about the watch.
Helmets ruin football?
Exactly. If you want to protect your head, grow your hair long.
So we cut back to Homer, who's still sad, and he decides to give his leftovers trophies to the needy. Specifically, Frank Needy and Sons, a pawn shop, featuring a dirtbag and shopkeep named Dumbly, which is a reference to Chun-Li on the show Pawn Stars?
Yeah, whatever. Let's keep going.
Alrighty. So the Pawn Star storekeep is voiced by Brian Posehn. And if you're looking for a better episode of things that he was in, there's a show from the late 90s, early 2000s called Mission Hill, created by Bill Oakley and Josh Weinstein, that was aired on the WB. And it's a really good show. And most of it is on YouTube, and I highly recommend it.
Well, we've mentioned the WB at least twice this episode.
Yeah, I really want to get that deep WB money.
No one has that deep WB.
I want to be a Wayans.
A Wayans?
I'm sure there's I was going to say there's a Wayne Brothers out there who has that money. At the pawn shop, we discovered that Millhouse found the watch and sold it, and Homer buys it.
Hey, dirtbag shopkeep, how did this come to you?
Some kid brought it in. Said he was mad at his friend for dropping so many rocks in his eye. Yours for $20.
That's an insult. You're talking about a self-worth boosting antique that's been in my family for generations.
22?
You'll take it all and you'll like it.
Homer goes to gloat at Bart for having the watch, only to find him crying and lamenting to Santa's little helper about how he let Grandpa down. Homer gives Bart the watch. You get a sweet moment.
Son, I found something that belongs to you.
Grandpa's watch! No, I can't take it. I didn't earn it, so I don't deserve it. You were right. I am a screw-up.
But boy, who screwed you up?
You! It was you!
And those who came before.
A photo shoot with Bart and Grandpa for the magazine, and Homer following his gut, giving up trying, and then Bart drops the watch, breaking it, leading to Grandpa choking him as Homer would. And we pan out to see that this is all the end of the novel, A Father's Watch, and that there's another novel written by Homer, The Barney Protocol, a John Homer mystery. And then we have credits. Then we cut back to Homer and Lisa watching the NBA draft. And Ralph Wiggum is drafted to the Philadelphia 76ers.
I'm a millionaire!
And then we close out the episode with final singing of Homer singing The Best by Joe Esposito.
Well, you really wrapped that up, Steve, in a nice little bow for us.
Yep.
Did you want to talk about anything that happened?
Did I go too fast?
You always do, but I'm going to probably put some clips in just to break it up.
Sorry. I've been complaining about going too fast.
Hey-o!
How? Well, I mean, we had some fine co-stars from Rob Riggle.
A lot of guest stars that
Yeah.
aren't playing themselves because who knows who Rob Riggle is.
He was in the military or something. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye.
Well, wait.
Oh, okay.
Do you have any grand takeaways from this episode?
It's just the fact that this whole episode is Simon Rich's way of trying to get his father's approval. Poor Simon Rich. Poor Simon.
But aren't we all trying to win our father's
No, I'm just trying
love?
to win his father's love. Yeah.
That's fair. So, should we get to ratings?
Sure. Steve, I know we've been rating Bart Spikes. I feel like we should do
Right.
something different. Every once in a while, let's come up with maybe some sort of different ratings. I don't know. Why not?
Okay.
So I'll start. This episode, there's some good jokes. Particularly liked the ones that were funny. See, what was your favorite line from this episode?
I don't know what I liked. It's hard for me to pull a favorite quote, but I liked the bit of Milhouse getting hit in the eye.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like the beginning too with the society bit. Abe's crybaby moment. That was good. There's some good parts in this. That being said, I guess being around the bush long enough here, I'm going to rate it. I'm thinking of something new here. Okay, I'm going to give it 4 Abe Simpson's dentures, but then also let's throw in 2.5 fobs. So 4 Abe Simpson dentures and 2.5 fobs.
All right. Is that out of 32 dentures?
No, it's out of we're going to say Homer's trophies. So
Okay.
yeah, out of Homer's trophies.
All right. Out of Homer's trophies, I give it 3 trophies and 1.5 frog entrails.
I feel like you could give a little bit more frog entrails, but I think you're right.
I'm being a little stingy, but
I might throw in 2 extra rocks on Milhouse's face.
That's fair. But I may have to take away a third thing that I don't think of. No, that's fine. We'll keep it like that.
All right, well, so that's our review for this episode of The Simpsons, A Father's Watch. But ultimately, I think it just sits in there with just a bunch of episodes, It's not one to praise.
No, I feel like it's of the time where, they found, this popular thing about, trophy parenting and they just felt like the need to make an episode about it. And they did. And it's fine, not awful, but here we are.
And this episode is, fairly new, too. It's only from 2017.
Mm-hmm.
So, I consider this obviously, very modern, obviously very modern episode of The Simpsons, which I've been delighted over. That's why I kind of wanted to start this podcast with you, to kind of say, hey, The Simpsons not as bad as you thought it was. Because, if you go back, that's what we kind of talked about when creating this podcast was going back was after seasons 10, it kind of went downhill. But there was kind of a a bump, I think, with the later seasons. I feel like they kind of got back on track. This one, again, it's from a writer, Simon Rich, that he's not a staff writer, and he wrote this story and sold it probably. Do they allow submissions?
I assume so. I don't know exactly.
He was already established as a writer.
I think he's written a couple books too.
It's not like back in the day with you were able to write like a spec script like Star Trek: The Next Generation, like just like as a fan, you send it and like, oh, we like this. And that's how like some of like Ronald D. Moore, the man responsible for the Battlestar reboot, like he would just submitted an episode to Star Trek and like, no, let's hire this guy. So with the submissions of spec scripts, I wonder if we should submit a spec script to The Simpsons. Probably not. I think I've read somewhere or heard somewhere like, yeah, don't even bother. Like they just take it and they just throw it in the trash. There's a whole legality thing about it too.
Yeah.
Because even if they like were to open and look at it, there's like legal, like we could sue. They're afraid of lawsuits. Is what they're afraid of. It's like, oh, if there's like even one little element.
Right. Like if we had an episode where Apu eats some nachos. And then they have an episode where Apu eats a quesadilla. We could like sue them for whatever.
So that's why they don't really do it anymore. It's fun to speculate after, I don't know how many episodes of The Simpsons there's been. There's like 600?
666 or something like that.
There's still more you can write, obviously. That sounds kind of fun. So, is that a hint what we're going to talk about? I don't know.
Maybe.
See, let's take a break and come back and I'll wrap this episode up.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Try to be man, cause you're only a man, and a man's gotta learn to take it. Try to believe, though the going gets rough, that you gotta hang tough to make it. History repeats itself, try and you'll succeed. Never doubt that you're the one, and you can have your dream. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best.
And we're back. Craig, have you got a little feature for us to close out the show?
Yeah, it was really creative, Steve. I just thought, let's just make an episode. But it did get me thinking because we've done these a couple times now, right? And it's always been the wheel of random will choose a Simpsons main family member, which is just Homer, Bart, Marge, and Lisa. Maggie, she's actually she'll be in the Simpsons character. So we pick the Simpsons family member and then just some random Simpsons character from Springfield. And the two of them have to, you come up with that episode, right? So I get to thinking a lot of Simpsons episodes are A plot, B plot. So I'm going to choose, I'm not going to choose. Brandon's going to choose 2 Simpsons family members and then 2 Springfield members. So you can either take 2 characters for the A story and then 2 characters for the B story. 3 characters for the A story, 1 character for the B story. You see what I'm doing, right? Or you can do all 4 characters in one giant story. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to spin the wheel, and I'm going to tell you our first character, okay? All right.
Homer, the father figure.
Second character. We got Homer again. So I'm going to spin the wheel again.
Lisa.
And we got Lisa. Okay, so it's going to be Homer and Lisa. All right, let me get the Simpsons character wheel out. Steve.
Mo. Great.
All right, we got Mo Sizlak.
Thank you.
Oh, that was really good.
Yeah.
Or was that Hank Azaria? Are you here? Oh, good cover up. Okay, spin the wheel again. Mayor Quimby. So you could do a story with Homer, Lisa, Mayor Quimby, and Mo. So you could have Mo and Quimby do the story, and then Lisa, for some reason, Lisa and Homer. That'd be a little weird, but
all right.
So yeah, there you go. Let's take an internet break to figure something out. We can't just do this on the spot. We're gonna give Steve
all right
5 minutes. We're back.
Useful.
Steve, how was that 5 minutes?
Okay.
I'll
go first because mine's not very good.
Do you want me to go first? Do you want to go first?
Okay.
So which
the actual actions might change, but I'll give you the rough idea of what the story I want it to be. It's going to be an A.
So you're doing like an A story and a B story. You're doing all together.
So here's my idea.
Okay.
So
that works.
Lisa is at the mayor's office interviewing Quimby for school. She discovers that he's doing something that is illegal, but basically good. So my idea was he is smuggling marijuana to the elderly people of Springfield for their benefit. He's doing it with the help of Mo, who's kind of working as a drug runner for some reason. Conversely, Homer feels that he's not connected to Lisa enough, and then he notices that Mo is breaking the law by getting drugs to elderly people, and so he tries to stop Mo to impress Lisa because he knows that she always wants to do the right thing. And then they kind of like argue, and then it all works out in the end somehow.
That's
okay. Does that make sense what I'm saying, though?
It's
like
kind of the same thing I
Yeah.
just thought of. Like, no, it does, because my resolution is pretty much the same as your resolution, because that's how
Yeah.
Homer Lisa episodes work. So it's all those little silly jokes in between which makes the episode. So yeah, yours is good. I like it. All right, so here's what mine is. So election year's coming up, and Mayor Quimby isn't really favorable with the Springfield. So he hopes to get more votes, and he passes a law that allows children ages 8 and up to vote. Yeah, he wants the kid vote. So he seeks Lisa Simpson, being the smartest one elementary, to hire her to help her campaign for the children, right? So she turns him down based on his like horrible political history, and then she ponders on how even someone like him got elected, right, in the first place. So after some investigation, it turns out some young hotshot political advisor was able to get Quimby the votes he needed to become the mayor. That man was a young Mo Sizlak.
Right.
Because you know how like these characters all of a sudden have like jobs from the past, right? They're gonna bring that in. So she asked Homer if this was true, and Homer tells Lisa the tale of Mo and Quimby when they were best friends, going to like law school and then political science, right? And so they both had like many political aspirations. Think of like Leo and Bartlett from The West Wing. So Mo being a Leo and Bartlett being Quimby. So yeah, and so. So after Mo, campaigns for Quimby and does all that, and Quimby becomes the mayor, he kind of like ostracizes Mo. And then Mo, gets on his, starts drinking, all of a sudden becomes a bartender, that sort of thing. But he's not really an alcoholic, right? I don't know. So then realizing that Mo is like some wunderkind, right, from Lisa and Homer convince Mo to run. And Homer, of course, is like super happy to hang with Lisa. And also like, we can have many jerk-ass or dumbass Homer moments while canvassing, right? So there you go. There's some good jokes there, I'm assuming. So then Quimby gets a hold of Homer, promising if Mo drops out, he will ensure that Lisa will get into the best school ever. And we'll do some Lori Loughlin jokes, right? And so then Homer conflicted, knowing that Lisa would be so happy at any school of her choice, right? But she would also object to the fact that that's morally wrong. Similar to how you did your story, right? So, he turns down Quimby, but then like Quimby would just like shrug. He's like, I'm just going to buy all the votes like I always have. And a non-Simpsons thing to do. They might have done it, but just have it end with like a very sincere moment where it's like snowing or because it's around election time, right? So it might snow in Springfield, but it's just.
Right.
So the Homer and Lisa, everything's fine, right? But it ends with this like, let's just imagine like snow falling and like kind of like, almost Christmassy type music, like Jingle Bells, because it's getting close to the holidays. And, Quimby walks in. There's no one in the bar. Like, Barney's asleep, right? And just Mo be like, Quimby.
That's a good Mo, too.
Have a seat. Whatever, right? No, thanks. We're good Mo's here. And then just like end it with like Quimby like putting out his hand on top of Mo's and just being like,
wow.
Sorry. I don't know, right? But just like not a joke, but just like there's actually like connection. So
I gotta say, we're not going to be doing a Twitter poll this week because you put a lot of thought in that, and that is way better than mine. Yeah, I know, and I was looking at Nancy cartoons during the time. So wow, that was really good and actually kind of plausible. Like I could see them doing that. But it would be a good episode, so kudos to you, sir. Well, very well done. Very well done.
Oh, well, thank you. It did take me 5 minutes to come up with this.
I can see all 300
I'm
seconds.
proud of my crappy Simpsons story. Okay, so let's find out what we're watching next week. Let's erase the wheel of shame. Let's hit the wheel of Simpson. All right, spin that wheel. We got season 13. Ooh, have we done season 13 yet?
Let's spin.
Nice. All right. The episode wheel. Episode 11. This episode is called The Bart Wants What It Wants. Originally aired September. February 17th, 2002, when wealthy Greta Wolfcastle guest voice Reese Witherspoon, she's without her knife, but it's fine, develops a crush on Bart, her father,
Sorry.
Rainier.
That was a slow burn and I loved it.
Right. Her father, Rainier Wolfcastle, gives Bart's family the royal treatment.
Vaguely remember it, but yeah, I don't
really
really know much either. I just remember Rainier Wolfcastle's daughter looking just like her. Let's move on. I do believe we're done.
I guess that's it for this week's episode, right? Everybody, please check us out on social media and
And
Twitter,
be sure to email
Facebook,
us at
Instagram
138simpsons@gmail.com. And I've been half a host, Steve.
I've been half a host, Craig.
Bye.
And we'll see ya next Thursday.
Looks like I'll be having a panic attack on the toilet tonight.